I have a circuit here. You can see it. Obviously, I have a circuit here. And I'm going to remove this component. And you can hear static from the radio. So obviously, this component has something to do with radio signals. It remembers you, if you are familiar with the stuff, of a typical transistor. This is a typical RF transistor. It's a power amplifier for, let's say another project I'm working on. And then we have this one. And you can see it's clearly taller than the regular transistor. You may remember that a few months ago, I showed you the last, I say that's the last that I have, a special crystal oscillator. This one was like a 8-pin IC, and you could add modulation, and it would transmit on 16 megahertz and so far and so on. And in the video I say this is the last one that I'm going to show you. And this is true because this was the last one that I knew that exists. Until I found this one on a well-known auction site called Crystal Oscillator. It was sold as crystal oscillator from a very popular, very well-known electronics brand, and this is what it says. And if you look at the other side, it has a lot of pins. It's actually like a circle. I just bent it so I can put it in my solderless breadboard. So you can see it has a lot of pins here, 8 pins to be exactly. And I wonder, why does it need 8 pins? It's just a crystal oscillator. It needs 1 pin for ground, 1 pin for the supply voltage, and 1 pin for the output of the signal. But this one here has 8 pins. Obviously, you can modify it somehow. And this is what I'm going to demonstrate you. I'm going to put this one back into the solderless breadboard. Yeah, you can hear the scratching noises. This is just dodgy contacts. And here I have my cassette player. And here I have a receiver. And the receiver is connected, or it's turned on. And it's tuned to the radio signal, or the frequency of this crystal oscillator, because number 5, and it matches the frequency of the oscillator. So this is just a regular radio. And I'm going to put it here. And now I'm going to push play on the cassette player, which is connected to the device.
Die Tarifautomatik bringt mich immer automatisch in den günstigsten Professional-Tarif. Monatlich, rückwirkend und kostenlos. Stimmt's?
Kein Kommentar.
E plus. Und wann wechseln Sie?
Ostern bei Douglas.
Der Frühling macht die schönsten Geschenke.
Jetzt bei Douglas. Pure Morning Woman und Man. Die neu.
As you could very well listen to the advertisings that are very old. This is another one of these special crystal oscillators. I didn't know it exists until I found it, and of course I bought it to show it to you. And this is my schematic, and you can see how extremely simple it is. I just took the device as it is. On 2 pins, I connected my battery. On 1 pin, I connected the antenna. And on the other pin and ground, I connected my cassette player. I'm just using a capacitor to get rid of any DC that could flow to the cassette player, and maybe then it would not work. I want it to work, so I added this capacitor. So this is how simple you can get yourself a transmitter for shortwave. And this sounds almost too good to be true. And yes, it has some problems. There are minor problems, but they exist. For example, you can see this is my antenna. It's just a short piece of wire because I don't want to transmit too far with it without a harmonic filter. And also, if I change that, if I add a longer antenna, if a 1 foot or even 3 foot antenna, the audio is going to be bad. It's going to distort. It's not going to sound well. Same applies for changing the supply voltage. I'm running it with 2 rechargeable batteries. If I increase the voltage, the modulation also gets worse. But there is a very simple counter method. You take a potentiometer, connect one side here and one side there. Then you connect, on the middle pin, you connect a resistor. This is just for protection, the resistor. 1 kilo ohm resistor, and connect it here on the pin from the IC. And with the adjustable bias, I can add a longer antenna, I can add a higher supply voltage, and adjusting the potentiometer, at one point the modulation is going to be clear again. So you could really use this as a small shortwave transmitter. I haven't tested the range or the power, but it sure covers a room. I did make a short test, take the radio and now I take it away from the transmitter, and I can hear it 6 feet, 8 feet. I can hear it even without the antenna added, a long antenna added. So yeah, this is another one of these special crystal oscillators. I just wanted to show it to you. And yeah, I mean, like I said, this is going to be the last video about crystal oscillators, but back then I did not know these things existed, and now I know it, and I got it to show it to you. If you're interested in these special type of crystal oscillators, check out my older videos. I showed some of these parts there as well. Okay, I appreciate that you took your time watching my video. Best greetings from Stefan.